Chapter 1. Owens's parents were out, as they usually were anymore. He was sitting at the kitchen table, eating with his sister Megan and her friend Holly. "Owen, I don't know how else to tell you this," said his sister Megan in a solemn tone that caught his attention. "I have been talking to Holly and Kathy. And we decided that you should join the cheer squad." "What?" Owen said in disbelief. "That's fucking stupid. Only girls can be cheerleaders." "That's not true," Megan protested. "Anyone can. It's just that here, so far, only girls have joined. But there's no strict rule that only girls can. Actually, that would be discriminatory and would open them up to lawsuits." Owen laughed bitterly. "Sure, but only girls are in the squad. I'd have to wear their outfit. As a boy, I bet it wouldn't go well. This is a stupid idea. I am not a girl, and I won't go as a boy wearing their outfit. Everyone would laugh at me. Why would you want me to do this? They need another person, and so far, they can't get any. I am sure they will find someone when they start holding tryouts soon. And with your skills, you will be sure to get on the junior squad. You have the best skills, you have everything, and with your pretty looks, I know you could do it if you wanted." "But I'm not a girl," Owen protested. "You could be one, and I know you could be very successful. Try it for next year. We know some people who could help with your records. Our parents would never find out." The brother and sister couldn't be more of a contrast to each other if they tried. Megan was over 6 foot, tall and extremely athletic and strong. She was the star center of the basketball team. Whereas Owen was small, just over 5 feet tall, a few years younger than his sister. He was also very delicate looking, that isn't to say he was weak. He was just as athletic as Megan, but it didn't show much. He ran miles every morning and did a lot of wrestling. But he hated it all. Being so small, the boys in his age group were always larger than him, and he kept struggling to keep up. He won most of his jiu-jitsu matches, and he was a senior black belt and into training students now. But he hated it with a passion. His father wanted him to do boxing, but he hated that even more. It seems no matter how fast he was at parrying and ducking blows, he always managed to get punched in the face. That's how boxing worked. He quite that very fast, and his father hated it. Getting punched in the face was not fun at all. But going into a girls' cheer squad, as another girl? "No, I can't do that," Owen said. "I don't want to be a girl, and I don't want to be a cheerleader." Megan smiled. "I hoped it wouldn't come to this. Remember who was driving the car 6 months ago? We know who. I can inform our parents who was really behind the wheel at 13 years old. That caused almost $8,000 of damage that insurance wouldn't cover because no one knew who was driving it. It all came out of our father's pocket. He will be mad." "You wouldn't," Owen said as the blood started leaving his face. "Megan, that's cruel. Come on. So what's your answer?" Megan demanded. "Fine, damn it. So what do I have to do?" "Be a girl for the rest of the school year." "It will be easy," Megan said. "We can have your sex changed on your documents. You will present yourself as a girl, get ready and go to the tryouts when they start in a week. So they have a good member that can help them look good at the games." He hung his head. "But what about my girlfriend, Cheryl? She is on the junior squad. I am sure there are members of the squad who wouldn't appreciate a boy being there, even if he is dressed as one of them. Most of the girls have agreed to accept you if you join. Including Cheryl, Holly, Catherine, and Jenny. They would welcome you with open arms and help you at school, so your dressing won't become a problem. You go to one of their places and dress for school when it starts. It will be simple. Owen chuckled. Yeah, right. Fine. After this, you will forget all about the car? Sure, Megan said. So Owen went back to his bedroom and started thinking about this ignorant and retarded demand. He knew he fucked up with the car, but he felt that it was all solved. Now he had to be a cheerleader. So Owen got on his computer in his room and started looking up cheerleaders and how they cheered. He learned some of the moves, the methods, and terminology. Then he started looking up his high school's cheer squad to try to learn some of their basic cheers. That didn't work out well. So, on the next day at school, he learned when the cheerleaders hold their practices. Then Owen went there and observed the varsity squad's practice sessions. The girls noticed a strange boy watching their practice, but that wasn't anything uncommon. They always get some boys watching them practice in the gym. Boys usually love watching cheerleaders. But this boy seemed very different. While most boys watch their bodies and their tight outfits and shorts, this boy was much more intent on their cheers and what they did than their bodies. Then, to their utter shock, the boy stood off to the side, totally imitating their cheers perfectly. When they did their first 8-step cheer, he was off to the side, making every move precisely. 1-2 clap, 3-4 clap, half turn, another half turn, and clap, then jump in a high V with their arms. Repeat. He learned some of the more advanced cheers: full turn to the right, 1-2, then another full turn to the left, step forward, step back, then cartwheel. Karen, the captain, asked the boy if he wanted to join for the final 10 minutes of practice. He smiled and joined them to learn the final advanced varsity cheers they do at the games. After a few cool-down stretches, and they dismissed. Elizabeth asked why he wanted to learn the cheers. Owen said, "I wanted to try out for the junior squad next week." Both girls hung their mouths open. "But, you're a boy?" "Thanks for telling me that," Owen said with a smirk and a wink. "I didn't know that. But I could manage as a girl if I tried. I am told that some of the girls are really looking forward to having me on their squad." "You are Owen?" Elizabeth asked. Owen nodded. "I heard they want you, but it seems silly, but the coach Crystal and Lynn are both agreeing to have you on, with some minor changes on the records, so you won't raise too many eyebrows. If that's what you want, I will not say anything. They need someone bad. They have sucked for the past few years. Tell Crystal to call me Olivia." Owen took note of their practice outfits. Tight cheer shorts, white spankies, and a loose-fitting polo top and a sports bra. Most of them had scrunchies in their hair to keep it out of their faces. The hair would become an issue, but hair grows. So, later that night, Owen asked Holly to take him shopping for a few things to integrate into the squad. The two teenagers went to a few women's shops and got some workout gear. They put several tight workout shorts in the basket. They found a few sports bras, some panties, and cheer spankies to wear. Then they finished it with a hair tie and some women's workout tops. He figured that if he was accepted into the squad that he would be provided with a formal school practice outfit, but it would still be good to have the proper undergarments to wear. His hair may still be an issue as they walked back to his place. He asked Holly, "Will my short boyish hair be an issue?" "A little, but there isn't much we can do until it grows out." "What about hair extensions?" Owen asked. Holly's head whipped around. "You would do that?" "Yes, if I do this, I don't want to stick out as a boy. Do you know someone who could do that for me until my hair grows out properly?" "Yes," Holly said, thinking. "My friend is a hairstylist. I think we can get you in this week. You may also want to consider your chest." Owen looked down at his flat chest. I haven't thought of that. Most girls this age aren't growing there much, but they do have something. I guess I will need to buy some inserts and stuff some girls use to look more full. Why does being a girl have to be so much work? They both had a laugh. You are about to learn many things boys never know about. I hope you can have fun with it. Maybe, Owen said. But it's still a lot of work being a pretty girl, and I don't want to be an ugly girl that embarrasses all of you. That's your job, Holly, he said with a smirk. She dove on him, tickling his ribs. He chased her the rest of the way home. Owen gathered his new stuff and stuffed it in a box in the back of his closet. He was going to have to make damn sure his parents never found his new stuff. Some of his looks were going to be unmistakable, like his hair growth and probably a few other things he couldn't think of now. But most of it could be explained by something other than, I'm a girl. Owen woke up the next morning and jumped in the shower. He used some of his sister's skin moisturizer and dried off. Then he started dressing. He decided to feminize his appearance just a little to get himself started. He put on one of his sports bras and a pair of cotton panties under his jeans and boyish top he wore. He briefly wondered how heels would feel, but that may be going too far right now. He finished walking into his sister's bedroom and using her eyebrow pencil on his brows. He walked out, really hoping that his mother didn't notice the slight protrusions beneath his top. Owen woke up a few hours earlier this time to give himself enough time. He wanted to start his journey this day. Owen ran into the bathroom and leaped into the shower. Then he used some of his sister's conditioner and feminine-smelling shower gel that said it helped keep his skin soft. A floral smell filled the bathroom as Owen showered, and he enjoyed the fragrance that filled the air. He finished and jumped out. Then he applied some of his sister's facial cream moisturizer and added a little hint of blush and pink lipstick. He used his sister's eyebrow pencil on his eyebrows to help give them shape. He looked at himself in the mirror, and he felt himself glowing. He loved this look. He just wished he had some hair to braid. It was time to get himself dressed as a girl. Well, he thought, as girlish as he felt he could get away with here. Owen slid a pair of sexy pink silk bikini cut panties up his legs and a matching thick padded cup bra. The cups were thick padded and had a delicate, beautiful floral lace pattern and a bow in the middle. He slid his arms in the silky straps and struggled to hook it in the back. He finally succeeded after the third time. Then he forced himself into a pair of very tight skinny jeans and buttoned it. He finished his look with a loose boy t-shirt. He added some small inserts into the cups to give them a fuller look and walked out. He noticed that his straps were still very clearly on display. He headed back into his bedroom and nearly bumped into his sister, who almost shrieked. "What are you doing?" Megan demanded in shock. Owen tried to look innocent. "I was headed into my room to get some stuff." Megan stared into his face and smirked as she ran her finger on the light shade of blush. She looked into his eyes, and then her eyes traveled right down his face and onto his chest. She pushed her fingertip against one of the mounds, pushing his top out. Her finger pushed into the cups and squeezed the other one. She ran her finger up the strap and pulled it up and snapped it on his shoulder. "I mean all of this." Owen gestured to his feminized body and his breasts. "May I remind you that this was all your idea? Why are you having a problem with it?" Her face was a mask of disapproval. "I am not that excited to have my brother turn into my sister. This is going to be very embarrassing at school. I hope we could hold this off for a few more days, but it seems you're jumping right into being a girl at school. Just try not to let Mother see all of this. She barely even notices us. I am headed right out. Holly and me will get something to eat at her place," Owen said. Megan started feeling a little frustration as Owen pranced away. Owen walked down the steps seeing his mother Jessica making breakfast. He called out, "I am headed for Hollis." "She's expecting me, Mom." Jessica approached him, looking right into his face as he headed for the door. He turned and hoped she didn't see the outline of his straps across his shoulders and his back. He headed out, saying bye. Jessica shook her head as he walked out the door, meeting Holly. She thought to herself, "Owen, if you didn't think I noticed that outline on your back, or the blush and eyeliner, you better think again. We will be discussing this tonight." Megan walked down and started eating. Jessica asked, "Have you noticed something odd about Owen?" She shook her head, looking slightly startled and afraid. So she's in it too, Jessica thought. What was going on here? Megan headed out as Jessica stared, considering what she was going to do about this. She had studied a little. Some boys simply enjoy being feminine, and it progressed from there. Some wanted to live as girls. What was Owen? She determined that whatever it was up to him to figure it out. It was her job to protect him and keep this from his father. His first few classes went without any incident. He had been informed that his records showed he was Olivia and female. Crystal made sure his classes were different from Owen's, so no one noticed. Some of the girls noticed, but his new friends kept it from becoming an issue. Most of the boys didn't notice. Most boys tend to be oblivious to such things. The girls noticed big time and kept making comments about his chest protrusions and the fact that he had a bra band on his back and over his shoulders. Holly or the other cheerleaders made sure the other girls didn't get out of control or embarrass Owen. Owen simply responded that he wanted to experience what girls experienced and tried to leave it at that. It didn't fix the problem at all. It only inspired more laughs and questions about his gender. Holly and Catherine came to his defense, and when the cheerleaders get involved, many of the other girls did back off. Most of the girls were just curious and didn't want to get insulting. Some girls were actually supportive, and a girl named Cynthia offered to help him if he ever needed help with his transition and commented that she knew someone who was doing that. Was he actually transitioning? The coach was changing his name and alterations on his school records to show him as female so he could participate in the squad. Holly approached him with the coach. Crystal Stillwell approached and called him into the office. He sat down, and she explained, "Olivia, we will start calling you now, Owen. I am glad you began your transition today. I made sure you were informed of your new classes. We have a full week to make you into an acceptable and convincing girl at school. Your boy records don't exist, as I told you. If anyone looked into you and your sex, they would find something very wrong and that you don't go to this school anymore. Owen isn't a student here anymore. He quit school. You are Olivia Benson, pretty 14-year-old freshman, and Megan's younger sister. Holly has set you up with a hairstylist to give you hair extensions. You need to start shaving everywhere. And tomorrow, Holly will take you before school, and you will come as a total girl." Crystal smiled. "So you will need more than your eyebrows and a bra tomorrow. Holly will take you to her place and help you get dressed. You will be totally dressed as a girl. The whole works. Holly suggests that to get past your parents, you can cover it all up until you have left the house with Holly. She will initially help you until you can do it yourself." Owen knew this was coming. Especially with him having to be accepted as a girl cheerleader in a week. This was going to be a crash course in femininity. He cursed his stupidity in crashing a car, causing $8,000 in damage to another vehicle. His sister was nice enough to take the blame for him. But she kept the evidence that it was really him that night. So he did owe her a lot for taking responsibility for it all. He joined the varsity cheerleading squad later that day for another afternoon practice. Owen learned the rest of the school cheers and some of the other exercises they do. He even got to participate in one of their practice halftime shows. He enjoyed helping out in a halftime show. The girls were very impressed and congratulated him on his performance. Owen went up to Karen as they prepared to leave and asked her, "Karen, I am curious. Have any of you ever went to competitions, like for the National Cheerleading Association, or regionals, things like that?" Karen looked shocked by the question and backed away. "No, no way. We are nowhere near in condition for something like that. Please, Olivia, we aren't ready. We don't do that kind of thing." Owen insisted, "I think it would be great, Karen. I want us to try it. They look so cool." Karen said, "You have no idea what you are asking here. Those things take loads of work. None of us are ready, so don't even think about it." Then they walked away. Holly took him to one of her hairstylists later after he left school. He was scheduled there, and the fact that he was a boy raised a few eyebrows. Especially a boy getting such feminine extensions and a feminine style. She began immediately sitting him in the chair and took the long extensions out and started molding them to some bonding agent and setting them out. She did it to a lot of hair, and that process was slow enough. Then bonding him to his hair took even longer. It was a prolonged process, bonding dozens of hairpieces to his own short hair using something that creates heat. It took almost the rest of the night. Then he looked at the final results and smiled. It wasn't all bad. Owen went back home and headed up to his bedroom. He watched Jessica, wondering if she would notice anything different. Jessica didn't notice anything. How could she not notice? Jessica did notice. She couldn't help but see the new long hair waving behind him, or the bra outline. He was also wearing women's skinny jeans, and there was a clear panty line. Owen would need help if he planned on making this his life. Jessica prepared to head up the steps to have a talk with Owen. Showing panty lines was clearly unacceptable for a young lady. Owen laid in his bed, wondering how he was going to handle going to school as a girl for now till the end of the school year. It was just September. But one thing was sure. They were going to regret pushing him into this. Chapter 3. Owen went to his bedroom and shut the door. Only his mother was at home for the moment. His father would be arriving sometime around midnight to 1 a.m. before taking off around 8. So Owen felt safe taking his top off and replacing it with a soft purple camisole and lying in bed only in his panties and delicate, lovely camisole. He was nearly in bliss when his door opened and his mother came in. He shrieked girlishly and covered himself. He almost felt like crying when his mother walked in and sat down. In the most comforting tone, she patted her son on the shoulder and said, "Don't cry, Owen. I am not mad at you for this. Please calm down. You are not in trouble." Owen struggled to stop crying. He looked up into his mother's face fearfully. "You aren't mad? Why should I be?" Jessica asked. "My son is lying in bed wearing a pair of panties and a pretty purple camisole with lace on the bust. That's not wrong. If this is how you want to look, then it's okay. We need to clear this up, and I need some answers. And I'd like to know when you got this stuff. But you aren't in trouble, Owen." "I like these clothes," Owen said to her. "I saw you this morning. If you didn't think I noticed you had on girls' skinny jeans and a bra under your top, then you are only kidding yourself. I am a woman, so we notice these things as women. We have those issues ourselves. So, why are you dressing up like this for school?" Megan burst in, trying to help when Jessica silenced her. "Stop, Megan, I also know for some reason. You are in this together. and I'm happy to see my children work together. I need answers from Owen, and I won't be mad no matter what it is. Why are you dressing as a girl for school? I want to be a girl for school, Owen said. I have agreed with Megan to do this. She said it would be great. And I also joined the cheerleading squad, and only girls can be part of it. But that's not the only reason, or it would be stupid. Jessica said slowly, so you want to become a girl, full-time? Owen nodded. I love it. Okay, I will help you, Jessica said. But first, no more panty lines under those jeans. It's lewd and slutty. Megan, show him what kind of underwear to wear with skinny jeans. You're the big sister, teach your little sister stuff that we taught you. That's your job now. Jessica giggled. The cheerleading squad? Jessica inquired. I don't get my arm twisted, or my neck choked. I don't get punched in the face. It is great, Owen pointed out. Jessica said there are other non-contact sports. Gymnastics, track, tennis, baseball. There's some contact there but not much. Cheerleading is hardly a sport. But if that's what you want to do, I will support you. Maybe I will go to the games for you. But why do you want to be a cheerleader? There's a girl on the squad that I like. And Jessica interrupted, I understand. But if you want to be a girl too, that may cause a problem in that relationship. And that's beautiful hair you got. I see you got hair extensions. We will have to teach you how to handle that. They held each other. Then Jessica said, okay, it's time for bed. Let's go to sleep. Owen covered himself up and slowly drifted off to sleep. Owen woke up early in the morning and took his shower. He followed the same routine he followed the previous day, using the gel and feminine moisteners that filled the bathroom with a sweet feminine fragrance that he enjoyed. He spent a few extra minutes on his hair combing the tangles out, and he used the iron to curl the bottom. Then he put on a matching pair of panties and bras and wore a black pair of skinny jeans and a more feminine top that had a V neckline that plunged down the middle. Owen finished and headed to the kitchen and sat down to eat some eggs. His mother stopped him and carefully looked at her son. Then she yelled for Megan. Please show your new sister how to dress appropriately. I can still see his panties. And that top, well, okay. But lay off the plunging necklines. I don't want a slut for a daughter. Megan giggled and took Owen back up and helped him dress and showed him how to hide panty lines in skinny jeans. There are ways, but Owen. We need to go shopping for proper panties that don't show the lines. They make them, and many women tend to wear thongs, and that solves the issue. But they make seamless panties for form-fitting outerwear. Now you look better. Let's work on your hair a little more. If you want hair like that, it will take more than a few minutes of work. Wake up earlier tomorrow, and I will help you braid it. There was no need to go to Holly's now. He went back down to the kitchen to have some of the eggs his mother made. His mother sat down with a stern look on her face. Owen, you look better now. Think about this. Do you want to be a girl? I think so, Owen replied. I don't mean just dressing as a girl or living part-time. I mean, do you seriously want to become a girl? Jessica asked. I think that I do, yes, Owen replied. Then we may need to consider other options for you. You're 14, so it isn't that difficult now. But you will grow, so we really need to know if you are serious, and we can take measures to ensure you can remain feminine. There are blockers and stuff we can give you. Your aunt is a PA and can access these things and check you out. I will give her a call this afternoon. Owen nodded and finished his eggs. Holly came in the door by the time he was putting his plate in the sink. Holly was very concerned to see the attention Jessica was giving him, but she quickly realized everything was fine. Jessica fully supported him. Jessica called Holly over. "I am happy you are helping him. I can do it too, but on days that his dad works later, we may need you to sneak him out to dress. And thanks for helping my son." Holly replied that she enjoyed it and took him to her place a few houses across the street. Owen followed Holly to her place, but there wasn't much to do then. They talked about another shopping trip for seamless panties. And he wanted some more skirts and cute tops. They agreed to go on a shopping trip that evening. Then they went to school. Olivia's classes were changed not to be the same as Owen's. Hoping no one would make the connections, the teacher for each of his morning classes confirmed it was Olivia and introduced her as a new girl. The second class teacher pulled him aside and introduced herself as Miss Chelsea and mentioned, "I didn't know Megan had a little sister." How strange she never mentioned it. Chelsea gave him a funny look. "Well, anyway, welcome to our school, Olivia. Go have a seat, and let us get started." They went through the classes, and then Holly took Olivia to the gym to meet Crystal, the cheerleading coach. "I heard you wanted to meet me, Olivia," Crystal prompted. "Yes, I insisted. There's something we need to discuss here," Owen said seriously. "Let's go to my office and discuss that," Crystal demanded. "I am Owen, but Owen won't be going this year. I will become a cheerleader named Olivia. So I accept that very reluctantly. I have briefly brought up what I really want. And I am baffled about you, Coach Crystal." She frowned. "Can you tell me what the confusion is about? Why are our cheerleaders' skills so low? Why can't they attend any of the competitions like the regionals in Houston? Or the Lone Star Classic? There are several of them. Why haven't we attended any of them? And I know you will say our skills aren't at that level, and that's what's confusion to me. You can't tell me you don't have the skills to raise the squad's level. I know your history, Crystal. I have seen the video and the pictures. You were at Florida State in the 1989 National Cheerleading Association National Competition. You won second that year. Well, your squad did. You are a damn good cheerleader. So I am really confused." Crystal watched the video of her competing and remembering how fun it all was. It was apparent that was what Owen really wanted, and he was pushing for it. IT would be fun to coach a competition squad. But they needed the motivation. Perhaps Owen had what they needed. Our school never competed in any of those events. There is no competition squad. Forming one out of the blue would be a monumental effort, and the skill level of our varsity squads simply aren't up to that level. I could try to bring them up, but there is little motivation to do it. Owen said, "They are cheerleaders." I brought the subject up, and they went wild. They would love it, Crystal. I think you underestimate your squad. If you pushed them, they would do it. They need the inspiration, and you have the skills for it. You have been there before. This is what I want, and since everyone is demanding so much from me, I want to form a competition squad to go to regionals in the fall. Or, we can go to the school board and have a long talk about changing my records and doing all of this. Owen looked up. So that's what you demand, Crystal demanded. Fine. Let's make a deal. I want this to work. I will make a full effort to present and become a girl this year. I want to be part of a great cheer squad. That means, I want it to continue, and I want us to participate in the regionals for the National Cheerleading Association in the fall. That is my demand. Fine, if you and Holly handle the junior squad and if you can raise their level enough to be equal to the varsity squad. Then when fall comes along, we will form a competition squad and train them for the regionals. That's if you raise the junior squad enough. Olivia smiled. I accept the challenge. They shook hands, but then a thought occurred to Crystal, and she stopped Olivia from leaving. There's something you should seriously consider if this is what you want to do, Olivia. Owen turned. What should I be thinking about? Starting a competition team will take tremendous effort and time on your part. Crystal warned. And it will be a long-term commitment. You can't just raise the bar for them in the fall and just leave them hanging. That will suck, and would be very unfair on them. If you do this, then it will require your effort into next year. You would have to commit yourself to be a cheerleader all 4 years of high school. You can't abandon them after you started it. Owen thought about it, and it made a lot of sense. Training new students in a new thing took tremendous effort and commitment of time. Sometimes, it took years. As a black belt in jiu-jitsu, he often trained new students who just walked in and signed the contract. He couldn't leave them after a few months. It took years of effort to raise their skills. He figured this would be much of the same, but in this, he was the new student. He knew jack about cheerleading. But he knew how to teach students, and he was good at molding new students. He thought this was doable. Except did he want to entrap himself into living as a girl and cheerleading all through his high school years, and how in the hell could he do this without his parents ever finding out and then asking why they have another daughter living under their roof? And why was she a cheerleader? He figured his jiu-jitsu commitment would have to be sidelined. They had other trainers anyway. He looked at Crystal and smiled. Let's go for it. We will confront any obstacles when they come. Then he walked out. Crystal laughed. There was no way he could ever raise the junior squad to the varsity level. She doubted he knew what he was getting himself involved in. She had nothing to worry about. Owen walked out. They were going to be sorry for doing this to him. It was about to begin. He went to his afternoon classes as a girl, and the classes went the way he expected. No one noticed Owen, and he wondered how that was possible. Some of the girls introduced themselves. He met none of the cheerleaders he trained with. Most of the varsity squad were juniors or seniors and were not in his classes. He met Holly and Ms. Chelsea often. They seemed to gravitate toward him. Then he went to the varsity afternoon practice and joined them. Only this time, they gave him a school practice outfit, so he ducked into one of the restrooms and put the uniform on and met the squad. Owen went into the gym wearing a pink pair of cheer shorts and a sleeveless shell top that they all wore. The girls were very impressed with his dedication to learning the new routines and following their example. When they started training on the latest moves like the various ways to perform a cartwheel, he was intent on learning and tried hard. Eventually, he learned them all. He learned a one-handed walkover, the slow cartwheel, the fast one. He learned how to perform it with others as a group in synchronization with the squad. The girls started really respecting him. They started wondering how he would handle being in the junior squad after this. That would be a step down and way exceed his skills he was obtaining here. By the end, Karen approached Owen and asked, "Olivia, I think we can make room here for you. So you won't have to move down with the freshmen. Your skills exceed them." Owen shook his head. "No, I need to be with them. Karen, thank you for the offer, but that is where I belong. You see, I was very serious about competition and us competing in the regional this fall. Crystal said to do that. We must all be on the same skill level. She hasn't the time to raise the juniors. That will be on me and Linda and Holly. Then, we can join our teams together, choose among the best and make a real competition squad. Karen never figured that was a serious suggestion. She was now learning he was very serious, and he intended to do it. Some of the other girls heard that and clapped and encouraged him. They thought it was a great suggestion. They ran in and hugged Owen, mentioning they never figured why they didn't compete. Owen looked at them and then said, "This will be massive if I can accomplish raising the bar for the juniors. I have never trained cheerleaders before. If one of you could help me, I would be very grateful. But even when I do that, then we must all as a group raise our own bar very high to have a chance against the other schools at regional. And we will have little time to do that. We will have to devote lots of extra time for practices. It will be a massive group effort." They all yelled for Owen and were ecstatic at it. He looked at the varsity squad and then said to them, "It might help if you increase your bar at the same time. I will do what I can on my end. Karen and Jenny, you should prepare." Owen turned and walked out. Karen watched with a funny look on her face as he walked out with his cheer shorts and school blue and red cheer shell top, moving almost like any of the other girls moved and walked. She turned to Jenny and asked, "What the hell is happening?" Karen, she, and the coach have agreed to help form a competition squad this fall. The coach set the bar, and Olivia is going to do it. I bet you anything our coach doesn't think Olivia can do it. But she doesn't know Olivia, Owen, like I do. I have seen him train new students in his own classes. He's one of the best young instructors and black belts at that school. I have zero doubt if he puts his mind to it, we will compete in the regionals this fall. And we have a chance. I am worried about Owen. Why are you worried? Karen and some of the other girls asked. If Owen actually understands what he is getting involved with. Owen will be giving up his masculinity to do this. Owen will be required to become a girl if he joins us. Owen looks prepared to, but I wonder if he understands how long he will have to remain as a girl. And if he understands how serious he will have to dedicate himself to integrating into the squad as a girl. If he abandoned them after the fall, the girls would feel betrayed. I know Owens' character and dedication. Abandoning students he trained after they have formed a bond is something he would never do. I wonder how he will handle it once he realizes the commitment he's made to be a girl that he is making. I am worried about him. The girls suddenly had solemn faces and concern for the fate of this boy, who was dedicating himself to their success. The boy was going to turn himself into a girl, all for them. Was that fair? Later that night, Owen made it back home and saw there was no one else there. He just sat on the sofa knowing his parents would be at work late into the evening and probably coming home around 2 or 3 a.m. They both put in extraordinarily long hours at their office. So he put on one of his soft pink shorts and a camisole and sat on the sofa watching some television. Megan came in a little later with her friend Michelle. Owen was sitting there in his camisole, watching The Princess Diaries. Megan and Jordan looked at him with the weirdest expression and began giggling. Owen joined in imagining what they were seeing. Megan laughed. Wow, Owen. You are going all out with this girl thing, aren't ya? You look cute, is that your camisole? Yeah, I got one the other night. It's so comfortable. However, Megan, we need to have a very serious talk alone. Can Jordan give us some privacy, please? I was headed out anyway. Owen, you don't have to go this far. With it, Jordan said, but Owen disagreed. Megan plopped down beside him. So what did you want to talk about? This, he motioned to himself. This whole thing. I don't know how it will go, but since it was your idea, you will have to cover for me for it to work. And you will have to support this transition in my life. It is what you wanted? Mom found out, and she supports me. I want to know how you feel, Owen said. Megan agreed. I will always support you, but this is going to be difficult. This transition and your life. This sounds like it will be much more than a year. If this is what you want, I will fully support you, but it's going to be difficult for me. And it's not what I wanted, Megan pointed out. Think about it from my view. I am a star athlete and center for our basketball team. I am the top scorer. And my little brother becomes my sister, and he becomes a prancing cheerleader. Think of how it will look on me. I didn't really want it. The other girls pushed me into this. They really wanted you. Now, I'm losing my brother and getting a sister named Olivia. And she is a cheerleader. Sure, I will guide and help protect her and be the older sister. But it's going to be very weird. You used to be so heavy into sports and such. Now you're a cheerleader. It's not even really a sport. You only support the real athletes and cheer them on from the sidelines. Owen said very hesitantly. That's what I wanted to discuss. The sport aspect. I have committed myself, and it's going to be for years now. What? Megan shouted. What do you mean? Well, Owen said. I have talked with the cheer coach, and we agreed on setting up a competition squad for this fall that will compete in the regionals. For the National Cheerleading Association Regional. We must be members of that organization and everything. That will require all my skills to learn about cheering in competitions. I will have to raise the bar on the squad to get us prepared. And after all of that, it will require a long-term commitment, basically all through high school. I will need your full support to help me as a girl and cover for me for my parents. Can I rely on you? Megan's features turned sullen, and then her face turned slightly red. What the hell are you talking about? She said in an angry tone. Little brother. You and Crystal talked about starting a competition squad. So you will be a cheerleader all through high school in addition to being a girl permanently. That was bad enough, but now you are making cheerleading your career? Oh my God. Then she thought about it all. Mom is on our side, and that's as great, so we don't have to worry about that. I think she can resolve this with our dad. But he's sure to find out sooner or later, and then it will all hit the fan. My brother being a girls' school, well, I guess you're a girl now. This is going to take a long time to get used to. My team's going to laugh so much. It's going to be hard. Why did you have to be a competition cheerleader? They are awesome athletes, Owen said. I want to be awesome. You were an awesome athlete. Have you forgot all of those trophies for jiu-jitsu and Naga? Megan said. Owen said no. I hated it. And I am so small. I am good at it, but I'm still so small, and my size is starting to affect me more. I will start getting hurt. I will start losing. I enjoyed training new students, but still. I don't want to retire and sit on the sidelines as a coach. I want to be involved. Megan hung her head, starting to really regret pushing him into it. What in the hell? She mumbled. Chapter 4. Holly and Megan were there when he got home that night. Megan was all ready and told him, "We need to go shopping and help you find the right clothes this time. You have a lot to learn about dressing and being a girl. So get dressed, and let's go shopping." Holly took him into his room and helped him pick out the right stuff to wear. She found a very flirty blue jean skirt and nylons. She offered Owen some heels, and he put on a matching padded cupped bra, and Holly found a blouse and helped him button it. She spent some time curling his hair, and they were ready to go out shopping. The three girls got into Jessica's mother's car and went out. Jessica took them to the mall, and they went to the first place they could think of. Holly took them to Victoria's Secret to shop for panties. Owen walked in like nothing was wrong. Holly admired how a boy could walk into the haven of femininity like he belonged there. He immediately attacked a table of panties. He was picking out cute and sexy styles. Megan let him choose a few, but then she reminded him, "Remember, Olivia. We need to find you the right panties to wear with your skinny jeans. Here are some seamless panties that won't show lines under your tight jeans. Find some of those you like, and we can move on to the bras." Owen looked at them and chose 5 of the ones he liked, and they moved on to the bras and found a few more. He got some more sports bras to wear under his outfit and got some sexy leggings to wear. He noticed that some cheerleaders wore those to practice. He picked up some shirts, cute shirts, shorts, and some workout tops. They ringed it all up, and Owen's mom bought it all. They left with many large bags of new clothes for Owen. Then they went to a salon and got his ears pierced. They finally went home. Jessica told Owen to keep the stuff in the bags. They were making plans for him tomorrow. This was Friday, the last day of the school week. He woke up and followed his usual morning routine. Only this time, he woke up early enough to spend some time on his hair. He showed with the pink floral shower gel and used the cream on his face. He dried off and dressed himself as girlish as possible this time. Holly took him out to get some seamless panties. So he jumped in the shower and used his sister's gels over his skin. He jumped out and sat down to use his sister's skin treatment on his face and chest. It brought out a flowery lavender fragrance filled the air that he found very pleasing. He put on a pair of his panties and a bra. Then he slid on a pair of his skinny jeans he had just purchased and one of his boy shirts he would replace as soon as possible. He finished off with some blush and his eyebrows. Owen was surprised to see his mother sitting at the kitchen table with his aunt. Jessica called, "Owen, breakfast is ready, get yourself a plate and join us. Jane wants to have a word with you." Owen went to the oven and got himself some eggs and ham and sat down at the table. Jane was watching him very closely. She smiled in approval. "I would say Olivia is doing very well for herself. I would be happy to check him out for you. Owen, as you know, Jane is a physician's assistant and has treated girls like you," Jessica said and then turned her attention to her sister. "Jane, can you take Owen? I mean, as a guardian for the rest of the year. I am apprehensive about how my husband will handle it. I think he would be safer with you, and I will work with my husband on this." Jane smiled softly. "I would be more than happy to. Is that okay with you, Olivia? You wouldn't have to sneak and hide at my place. I am very accepting, and I would help you. And your sister and friends can come at any time." Owen leaped up and hugged Jane tightly. "I would love to. I hope my dad can come around," Jessica said softly. "I think he will. It will only take time. I will work with him. And if I'm wrong, then we can deal with that when it comes." Holly walked in when they were talking about Owen moving in with Holly. She knew Jane lived only a few blocks away. It wouldn't be hard to help Owen still. She told him, "I think that is a great idea. Are you ready?" Owen smiled and wondered if he should stop thinking of himself as Owen now. Anyway, he put his plate in the sink and said he was ready. Jessica said that they would take his stuff to Jane's while he was gone, and Jane would pick him up after school. Owen reminded them, "It's game day. I think I will be cheering with the varsity squad this evening. I hope you can come to see me." The two women said sure as Owen headed out. Holly led him to her place, a few houses on the other side of the street. Holly was so happy all of the time. She took Owen into her bedroom. Her mother said hi, assuming that Owen was another girl. Perhaps he was, Owen giggled thinking. Holly widely smiled. Perhaps Owen didn't know. She decided to enlighten him. "Owen, it's game day, and you're a cheerleader. They told me that you would cheer with us tonight. Do you know what that means?" He shook his head. Then he got it. His features brightened. "They wear their uniforms on game day. But I don't have one yet." Holly pulled out a cheer bag with the name Olivia in sparkles, just like the other cheerleaders have. She handed it to him. "Crystal told me to give you this and to make sure you were dressed in the uniform for school spirit. Let's see you put it on." Owen felt like it was a dream as he opened the bag and saw the pretty cheerleading gold and blue skirt, and the matching sleeveless shell top with the school's logo on it. His matching pom-poms were fabulous, and the red ribbon with his name on it. He was glad he packed a sports bra and spankings. He guessed he would need it. He took his jeans and top off. He replaced his padded bra with the sports bra and the small inserts. Then he put the cheerleading skirt on and the top. He tied the ribbon in his hair, making sure the name Olivia could be seen. He jumped, he was so happy, and Holly gave him a big hug. She put on her own uniform. They went the rest of the way to school, and he wondered what everything would think of this. Owen knew he loved it. He held Holly's hand as they walked down the street to school. The two cheerleaders walked through the door, and the rest of the squads were there. They all squealed for Owen's new look as they went to their classes. The cheerleaders gravitated to each other and sat together in class. They tried to make sure one of them was there for Owen during each class. They all sat together for lunch, and it made quite the scene. The junior and the varsity squad all sat at one of the large tables. Megan said, smiling to the juniors, "Olivia said he wants to be with you all, and I will say that the dedicated Olivia shown in learning all of our cheers and training, you are all very privileged to have her." Owen looked at them and could hardly wait to be with them in practice. "I will be happy to help you all." The junior squad looked confused. New members usually don't help out. They are fresh, and it takes a while to teach them. Megan saw and explained. "Olivia is a trainer. She will be in charge of your group. If Olivia is as good as I am told, you will be joining us on the field in no time. We will put on some awesome halftime shows together. We will be setting up a competition squad this fall. And I bet more than a few of you will be picked for it." The junior squad exploded in squeals and cheers. What troubled Owen was that his girlfriend Chelsea kept looking at him with a puzzled look. She was 14 years old and a member of the junior squad. She wasn't one of them that wanted him on the squad. He saw her trouble that he was supposed to be her boyfriend. And he was here, wearing a girl's cheer outfit with inserts in his training bra. This had to be difficult for her to suggest. Just then, Megan walked up to the table and saw her little brother sitting there with his hair bow and the skirt. "You have got to be kidding me." All of the girls stood up in front of them. Megan glared. "What is your problem, Megan?" Megan didn't want to blurt it out right there in the cafeteria. "You know what? So you mean Olivia is cheering at the game tonight? She's going to be on the field with all of you?" Karen smiled. "Yes, it's her job. She's a cheerleader." "Duh," Karen said. "What did you think she was going to do? She's a cheerleader. Get with the program." Megan stood there, quivering with her face turning red. Owen stood up and took Megan's hand. Let's go somewhere and talk in private. Come with me. Owen struggled as Karen tried to intervene when she was stopped. Owen pulled Megan out of the cafeteria and into one of the girls' restrooms. Megan protested when Owen gestured to her uniform. You think we should go to the boys? Hello? Owen whispered. Megan got the point. I thought you were going to back me up, Owen said tearfully. Please, I need my big sister to support me. I joined the cheer squad. I am a full member and got a uniform. My bow has my name on it. It's so cute. These earrings have the school name and a cheerleader on it. You push me to this, so why are you so suddenly shocked? I know it's hard on you. But this is what I want. So please, stop trying to get in the way. I am your little sister, and I need your full support. Please help me. Megan pulled Owen into a big hug. I will, little sister. This is just hard. I will be there for you. Then Megan started laughing. Those girls have no idea what's coming their way, do they? I watched your grueling jujitsu classes. You made grown men pass out from exhaustion during your workouts. You will get them into shape and weed out those who can't make it. I look forward to watching it. Owen gave a wicked grin. Oh yeah. Then started back out when Megan stopped Owen. There's a mirror for a reason. Check your makeup, girl. We do that every time. Owen looked in the mirror and realized he forgot to put makeup in his purse. He forgot his purse. Megan saw his frustration and offered Owen some lipstick and liner to retouch his face. Thanks, sis. I still have a lot to learn. Being a girl is rough. I will try not to forget my purse again. Actually, I think I need to get a purse. Owen giggled girlishly. Megan rolled her eyes. That's why I'm here. You are becoming more girly every day. Let's go see the squad. I will be watching you at the game. They went back, and Megan went to the table with her team sitting. Karen made sure that Owen was okay, and he assured them that his sister was okay. He giggled. I think all of this is a big shock to Big Sis. Her little brother turning into her sister has to be a lot to accept. Then watching him become a pretty cheerleader on top of it all. This is a lot for her. Owen giggles. It's going to take some time. But she is struggling, and she will be there for me. Cheryl piped in, she is cute, she's the second cutest girl here. Second, Owen said in a mock-offended tone, I don't think so. They all giggled and left the table and finished their classes for the day. Owen found out how difficult it is to deal with male attention through the day. It got frustrating, but usually, the other cheerleaders were there to help steer the male away. It often worked. Some males were pushier than others. Most took no for an answer. Some of the more pushy males had to have another girl get in the way to make the point. The girls had more experience saying no to a flirty guy. There was one that tried to make it difficult. Owen said no multiple times. Megan got in the way to tell him to back off. The guy wouldn't back off. He pushed Owen into the wall and tried to feel Owen. That was when he had enough. He pulled the boy's arm away and bent his wrist in at a very sharp angle and pulled the elbow up. The guy started to cry out when Owen said in a threatening tone, If you don't want a broken wrist, just leave me the fuck alone. Do you understand? The guy squeaked, and Owen shoved him back as he stumbled and fell. The girls laughed. Megan giggled. Welcome to being a girl. We all deal with those from time to time. Guys can be bastards. The cheerleaders went out for the afternoon and did one more practice session. The squad ironed out their halftime routine as Owen joined in. You will be in the routine, Olivia. Do you think you are ready? Karen asked. Let's go through one more run to see. I think I have it. Let's make sure we have the timing down. They backed away and prepared. It all had to be synchronized perfectly. The 12 cheerleaders were on both sides in groups of 6 facing each other. The outwardmost cheerleaders started the routine on the 4 sides of the square, moving forward with forward rolls and somersaults and finished with a flying walk-over handstand. Then it proceeded inward with cartwheels and flying somersaults. Owen did one-handed walking cartwheels followed by a flying backward somersault, finishing with a forward shoulder roll and popping up on the other side of the field. It was amazing. Then they did a 2-level pyramid, and Owen was a flyer that flew off with 2 other girls. Owen was the only boy flyer. Karen clapped as the girls squealed in joy. I think you are ready, Olivia. Let's prepare for the game. Megan was watching, and she clapped. Owen saw she was beaming with pride. That made Owen very happy. It was about time for the game, and Owen started to duck into one of the private restrooms when Megan and Jennifer stopped him and pulled him into their locker room. He began to struggle when Megan whispered, "You are a girl, remember, and you are on our squad. You have been good enough with us. We trust you, so come in with us and let's prepare as a squad." So Owen went into the girls' locker room and prepared. Most of them were dressed already. A few had to change their undergarments, but there were private stalls for that. He still saw girls walking around in their panties and bras, and none of that bothered him. He went about his own business, preparing for the game. They all got dressed and ran out on the field, cheering and jumping. Then they made the cheerleading tunnel for the football team to run through. Then everyone took their positions and did the kickoff. Owen spotted his mother and his aunt on the bleachers smiling with joy as he ran through the various school cheers to encourage and energize the players. He noticed that not everyone was in sync with everyone else, and they would have to work on their timing more. These would probably be deductions during competition. They needed a lot of work. Their team was behind for halftime, and they performed their routine almost flawlessly. Some of the girls had to veer off to avoid running into the other side. They needed to work on that too. Crystal had her work cut out for her. They ended up losing by a touchdown and another field goal. The girls were disappointing by the end. His sister was there to hug him and say she was happy. Even after the loss, but that wasn't their fault. He did cheer at a game, and that made them happy. His aunt was there to take him home, and she seemed very upset. Jane pulled the coach Crystal to the side, and he heard Jane scold her. "You be there first thing in the morning. We will have a very long talk. You better be prepared to answer some very serious questions. I think you know about what." Legs to Olivia. "You also have a lot to answer for." They rode home in silence. Owen was so worried. They made it to her place, and Jane told him to sit down. She sat down with him and started. "Olivia, imagine my shock when your mother and I went to the courthouse to make me your legal guardian for the year, so I can make medical decisions for you. Only to find out that Owen Patterson doesn't exist. Jessica now has 2 daughters, Olivia Patterson, a female, the little sister of Megan Patterson. Imagine my shock. So I signed for her, and now I'm your legal guardian. You probably see nothing wrong with this, do you?" Owen shook his head. "You see this as a good thing. So let me explain the problem. Your records say you are a CIS-born female. All of your state records. Whoever did this must have people in high places? I have a lawyer working on it. Do you see any problem? Owen shook his head. I am a female on the cheer squad. It all fits, there is no problem. Let me explain. If a time ever comes, and it might when you want to stop being a girl, you will have some major problems. You were born a girl, they will be baffled and wonder if you want to transition into a male. Even if you don't, let me explain further. Your records say you are a CIS female, not trans. So you won't take any hormones, it's assumed you have them, you won't qualify for hormone blockers to stop puberty. Doctors will wonder why you need them. You won't be able to. Are you starting to see the problem? You are a CIS female, why would you need puberty blockers or HRT medication? Owen understood now. Whoever did this to you only caused you more problems in the future. If we didn't catch this, your future would be a mess of legal difficulties. One that may even get you on charges. That's why I have my lawyers looking into this problem. They will solve this. So I need answers now. Jane said seriously. Explain. Owen went on to explain that the coach did this so he would have no problem on the squad and that he would be female. Jane only becomes more furious. That's the stupidest fucking thing I ever heard. Trans women can be on cheer squads. Hell, I even heard of perfectly CIS boys and men be on girls' squads. Crystal is a moron. And this is only going to cause you more problems. You probably like her, don't you? You don't want to see anything happen to her, but I think that idiot belongs in jail. Owen tried to plead her case. For you, and the squad, I will try to plead her case and get her immunity. I really will. This thing must go way higher than her. Even your SS number and records on the state level. Who the hell does she know? We will find out. But Owen, she has a lot of answering to do. And she better be willing to really suck up if she wants to be spared. I bet you could demand anything from her now. Let's go to bed.